My mother-in-law thought she got away with baby trapping us until she was begging for forgiveness. My mother-in-law has lived her entire life believing she knows what's best for everyone, especially her daughter. And I don't mean that in the typical overbearing mom who calls too much kind of way. I mean it like she chose her daughter's college major, kept copies of her medical records just in case, and once told me at our wedding party that I was temporary because she'd already picked out her daughter's next husband, a heart doctor from her country club. This woman started her attacks from day one, asking about my 5-year money plan over appetizers before showing my girlfriend photos of better men by dessert. The unexpected visits came next, always with emergencies when I was there, then health scares that went away once her daughter came home, ending with her literally faking a fall downstairs to stop our weekend trip. She would do this every time my wife was with me. By our wedding, she'd moved up to breaking into our home with copied keys for emergencies that included 6 a.m. spice rack organizing and throwing out my stuff because my college sweatshirt was worn out, my gaming console was childish, and my grandmother's quilt was smelly. When we explained we were waiting on kids because my wife has lupus, the disease where pregnancy can literally kill you, she laughed and called it being dramatic and young people excuses, then started her baby campaign with baby clothes on our bed and telling family at Christmas dinner that we were selfishly keeping her from having grandchildren. The pregnancy announcement should have been happy. Instead, I watched my wife's hands shake as she held that test. We've been so careful since her lupus doctor had her on strict medicine timing. We were using protection, planning for maybe 2 years down the line when her condition was more stable. But there we were. Mother-in-law found out before we could even think about it ourselves because she'd been going through our trash and found the test box. The next day, she showed up with a moving truck to move herself into our spare bedroom because her grandson needs his grandmother. Then we found what happened at Sunday dinner, 6 months in, 3 glasses of wine, and she started celebrating. "You should thank me," she said drunkenly, cutting into her salmon. "All that whining about her condition, you never would have done it yourselves." My wife asked what she meant. That's when this woman, this monster dressed like a grandmother, laughed like she'd told the funniest joke. "Those weren't birth control pills you were taking, sweetheart. Haven't been for months. Sugar pills. I switched them during one of my visits." She actually looked proud. "Oh, and I was poking holes in your husband's little willy wrappers too, just to be sure." She raised her glass. "See? Everything worked out fine. My grandson is healthy. You're fine. All that worry for nothing." I watched my wife's face go through confusion, understanding, then horror. Her mother had played Russian roulette with her life and won, which somehow made it worse. "You could have killed me," my wife whispered. "But I didn't," her mother said happily, raising her glass. "To my grandson." That's when I knew this woman wasn't going to stop. She turned her daughter's body into a baby-making machine against her will, and she was proud of it. The kind of proud that posts on Facebook, the kind that brags at book club, the kind that does it again. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, and promised myself I would make sure she got what she deserved. The next 2 months were like chess. I was recording every Sunday dinner, writing down every conversation while she bragged about practicing pill switches on her sister and knowing which pharmacy worker wouldn't check IDs. I saved her fingerprints from wine glasses and became friends with a detective whose sister had lupus too, so he was more than motivated to help. My wife played along perfectly, smiling while texting me under the table, talking baby names to make her mother careless, while knowing every day increased the risk her mother had forced on us with sugar pills and no heart. The plan was simple to arrest her at home, but my wife's body had other plans. At an 8-month checkup, I heard the scream from the waiting room. By the time I reached her, there was blood everywhere. The placenta had torn away. Emergency C-section. I called mother-in-law from the ambulance. "There's been a problem. She's asking for you." She arrived in 20 minutes, already blaming the doctor. Stopped mid-sentence when she saw the 2 detectives by the nurse's station. I texted the lead detective. "Ma'am, we need to speak with you about messing with prescription medication." They let her see my wife before arrest. Through the ICU glass, I watched her walk up to the bed where her daughter lay gray and still. "Get out," my wife whispered. "You killed my baby." She responded with, "Please, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." She was crying now, finally getting it. "Please forgive me. Please, I just wanted—" "Get out," my wife said before she could finish her sentence. The baby lived 3 hours, long enough to hold, not long enough to name. The trial was quick. Her lawyer tried everything until the other lawyer played the recordings. She was guilty on all charges. She turned to us, my wife in a wheelchair from surgery problems. "I was trying to give you a gift. You gave me a grave," my wife replied. "My wife can't have children now, but we're adopting next year a little girl who'll never know the grandmother who killed her would-have-been brother in her desperate need to create him."